You think you're making your own decisions. You think you're in control of your choices, your feelings, your reality. But what if you're not? What if someone's been pulling strings so carefully, so cleverly, that you never even noticed? They didn't force you. They didn't threaten you. They just guided you, shaped you, made you believe their ideas were your ideas. Their needs were your needs. And by the time you realize what happened, you've already given them everything. Welcome to manipulation. And once you see how it works, you'll never unsee it again. This isn't about obvious control. This isn't about violence or threats or forcing someone to do something. That's coercion. That's power through fear. Manipulation is different. It's power through deception. It's getting you to do what they want while making you think it was your idea. And it works because it's invisible. The best manipulators don't look like villains. They look like helpers, like victims, like the most reasonable person in the room. They don't take your power by force. They convince you to hand it over willingly. And here's the disturbing part. We've all done it. Small manipulations, white lies, guilt trips, playing victim to get sympathy. The question isn't whether manipulation exists. It's whether you know when it's happening to you, and whether you're doing it without realizing it. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of manipulation, how it works, why it works, and how to recognize it before it destroys you. So how does manipulation actually work? It's not one tactic. It's a toolkit, and master manipulators know exactly which tool to use when. There's gaslighting, making you doubt your own reality. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong. You're being too sensitive until you stop trusting your own perception and start relying on theirs. Now they control what's real. There's guilt tripping, making you feel responsible for their emotions. After everything I've done for you, I guess I'm just a terrible person. Until you're so afraid of disappointing them that you sacrifice yourself to keep them happy. And there's intermittent reinforcement. Hot and cold. Kind one moment, cruel the next. Just enough affection to keep you hoping. Just enough cruelty to keep you trying. You become addicted to the good moments, willing to endure anything to get them back. If this feels familiar, pause for a second. That recognition matters. They also isolate you, slowly cutting you off from other perspectives. And they play the victim, always hurt, never wrong. Every tactic has one goal: control over your reality, your emotions, your choices. But why does manipulation work? Why do smart, capable people fall for it? Because manipulators exploit fundamental human vulnerabilities. They target your need for approval, your fear of abandonment, your desire to be good, your tendency to give people the benefit of the doubt. They find your weak spots. Maybe you're a people pleaser. Maybe you have low self-esteem. Maybe you're lonely. And they exploit them. Not obviously, subtly. They make you feel special at first. Seen, understood. They give you exactly what you've been missing. And once you're hooked, they start taking. And here's the key. Manipulation works best on empathetic people. On people who care. On people who want to believe the best in others. Because those are the people who will blame themselves when things go wrong. Who will try harder to fix it. Who will stay long past when they should have left. If you're watching this, you're probably not manipulative. You're the one who stayed, tried, explained, and blamed yourself. That's not weakness. That's being human. Manipulators know this. They don't target the skeptical. They target the trusting. And they use that trust like a weapon. And manipulation follows a pattern. Once you see it, you'll recognize it everywhere. Phase 1, idealization. They love bomb you. You're perfect. You're special. You're everything they've ever wanted. They mirror your values, your interests, your dreams. It feels like you found your soulmate, your best friend, your missing piece. And that intensity? That's not love. That's grooming. Phase 2, devaluation. Once you're attached, the mask starts slipping. The criticism starts. The put-downs. The subtle ways they make you feel like you're not enough. But it's confusing because they still have moments of the old warmth. So you try harder. You think if you just get back to how things were, it'll be okay. At this point, most people still think this is about them. It's not. This is the pattern. And it has nothing to do with your worth. Phase 3, control. Now they've got you. You're questioning yourself, walking on eggshells, changing who you are to avoid their disappointment. And you don't even realize you're being controlled because it happens so gradually, like a frog in boiling water. Phase 4, discard or hoover. Either they discard you when you're no longer useful, or they hoover you back in when they need something. And the cycle starts again. Each time, you lose a little more of yourself. This pattern applies to romantic relationships, friendships, family dynamics, workplace relationships. Anywhere there's an imbalance of power, manipulation can thrive. So how do you know if you're being manipulated? Because manipulators won't tell you. They'll gaslight you into thinking you're the problem, but your body knows. Your instincts know. Here are the signs. You constantly second-guess yourself around them. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. You're always apologizing even when you're not sure what you did wrong. You feel anxious, drained, or confused after interactions with them. You've changed who you are to accommodate them. You've lost touch with friends or family because of them. You feel responsible for their emotions. You make excuses for their behavior that you'd never accept from anyone else. Your reality doesn't match what they say. They say they care, but their actions hurt. They say they want what's best for you, but you feel worse around them. Words and actions don't align. And here's the biggest one. When you try to address problems, somehow you end up being the problem. They flip it, deflect it, make you the bad guy for bringing it up. Every conversation becomes about how you hurt them, never about how they hurt you. If this sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. You're recognizing a pattern, and that recognition is your power. But why do people manipulate? What drives someone to control and deceive others? Sometimes it's calculated. Narcissists, sociopaths, they manipulate because they lack empathy. You're an object to them, a tool. They don't care about your feelings because they don't experience guilt or remorse the way others do. But sometimes it's learned. People who grew up in manipulative environments learn that's how you get needs met. That's how you survive. It becomes their default. They might not even realize they're doing it. And sometimes it's desperation. People who feel powerless in their lives try to control the one thing they can. Other people. They manipulate because it makes them feel less helpless, less small. But here's what matters. Their reasons don't excuse their behavior. Understanding why someone manipulates doesn't mean you have to tolerate it. Empathy doesn't require you to sacrifice yourself. Some manipulators can change if they genuinely want to and do serious work. But most don't, because manipulation works. And people don't change tactics that work. So how do you break free from manipulation? It starts with seeing it clearly. Stop making excuses. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Stop believing their words over your own experience. Then set boundaries. Real ones. Not please stop doing that. But if you do that again, I'm leaving. And then follow through. Manipulators don't respect words. They respect consequences. Stop explaining yourself. Manipulators use your explanations against you. No is a complete sentence. You don't owe them reasons, they'll just twist into weapons. Reconnect with reality outside of them. Talk to people they've isolated you from. Get other perspectives. Trust your own perceptions again. The more reality checks you have, the harder it is for them to gaslight you. And sometimes, the only solution is complete distance. Gray rock. Be so boring, so unresponsive that they lose interest. Or no contact. Cut them off entirely. Because some people cannot be in your life without damaging you. It's hard. You'll feel guilty. You'll doubt yourself. You'll miss the good moments. That's normal. That's the manipulation still working. But freedom is on the other side of that discomfort. Here's what manipulators don't want you to know. They only have the power you give them. Every time you doubt yourself instead of them. Every time you change yourself to keep the peace. Every time you accept their version of reality over your own. You're giving them power, and you can take it back. Not by fighting them on their terms. Not by trying to prove they're manipulative. But by simply refusing to play. By trusting yourself more than you trust them. By choosing your reality over theirs. Real power isn't control over others. It's control over yourself. It's knowing who you are so clearly that no one can convince you otherwise. It's having boundaries so firm that manipulation bounces off them. And the strongest thing you can do? Walk away. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. And the people who manipulate, deceive, and control, they've lost the right to your energy, your time, your guilt. You're not responsible for fixing them. You're not responsible for teaching them. You're not responsible for giving them one more chance. You're only responsible for protecting yourself. And that's not selfish. That's necessary. If you've been manipulated, hear this. It's not your fault. You're not stupid. You're not weak. You're human. You trusted. You cared. You wanted to believe the best. And someone exploited that. That's on them, not you. But now you know. Now you see the patterns, the tactics, the red flags, and you can't unsee them. That awareness is your protection. Use it. Watch for the guilt trips, the gaslighting, the hot and cold, the victim playing, the isolation. And when you see it, in relationships, friendships, family, work, don't ignore it. Don't excuse it. Address it or exit it. Because you deserve relationships where you don't have to constantly defend your reality, where your feelings are respected, where you can trust what someone says because their actions match, where you're valued, not controlled.